So, I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis who have come here to study, especially the Indian students, the international students who come here in Swansea to study. And one of the important questions that I ask them is that how did you like Swansea? So, a lot of people have different opinions about living in Swansea, and some people really like it, some people think it's okayish. So this video is gonna be about how actually Swansea is to live and also how it is different from London. So I will be talking about all the reality situations that is here in Swansea, and how will you feel or how will you experience like when you come here as a student and live in Swansea. This is not about Swansea University or any university in particular, it is just about how it is to live in the city. So let's not waste time and let's start the video. So a lot of people come here and they have the thinking that Swansea is just like London, bada sheher, a lot of people, metros, tubes, etc. And honestly speaking, there is a big difference between living in Swansea and living in London. So मैं बहुत सारी चीज़ों के बारे में बात करने वाला हूँ इस वीडियो में, and I will be definitely pointing out the good and the bad things for living in Swansea as well as living in London. And I think this will be a very important video for whoever is planning to come here as a student to actually know about how it is like to live in Swansea, so that they can prepare themselves accordingly. So before we move into talking about the good and the bad things about both the cities, I want to talk about an important thing, which is बहुत सारे लोग इधर आते हैं as a student and they come here without booking an accommodation prior to their journey to Swansea or to the UK. And उन लोग को लगता है कि इधर आके हम बस ऐसे ही एक दिन में accommodation ढूंढ लेंगे, घर ढूंढ लेंगे and रह लेंगे. Or else they just ask the university that now that we are here, now it's your responsibility to provide us an accommodation. But this is not how it works here. So I would please request all of you who are planning to come here to the UK or to Swansea to actually book an accommodation before you travel to the UK, or at least travel to Swansea, because there are a lot of students who are already living here. And as I'm going to be talking about a lot of things about the differences between Swansea and London, one of the things is that it is not such a big city like London. So it is definitely recommended to book an accommodation in Swansea before you travel here. And I think I've mentioned this a lot of times, but Amber provides an amazing service about booking an accommodation from sitting at your home before even traveling to the UK. And this will be a hassle-free booking experience for you, where you do not have to pay a single penny to Amber, and you can just register yourself from the link provided below, and a personalized assistant will contact you through email and they will help you personally to book a perfect accommodation for you. So I think this is an amazing service that Amber is providing, and there are a ton of offers going on right now as we speak as well. So if you don't want to miss out a chance on winning a lot of things, please go down in the description and click on the link and register yourself as soon as possible. And please do book an accommodation before you come here. The best part about this is that Amber will take care about the contract, about the talking to the accommodation, everything. Amber will take care of it, and you do not have to pay a single penny to Amber. So you will straight away register yourself, a personalized assistant will contact you, and then you will find your perfect accommodation and book with Amber, where they will do all the hassle work and you have to be tension free. So please, I do recommend you to get an accommodation before you come to Swansea. Now, let's move on to the good things about living in Swansea. So talking about the good things of living in Swansea, my personal favorite is that it is near the beach. So Swansea is a beach city. So even Bay Campus as a campus has their own beach. So I think if you are a beach person, you like going to the beach, this is the place for you. The second important thing is that cost of living here is less. So compared to all the big cities in the UK, cost of living in Swansea, that is your grocery bills, your electricity bills, etc., etc., is lesser in Swansea than most of the big cities in all over the UK. So this is one of the most important part that I think you should consider while you decide upon going to London or coming to Swansea. Thirdly, although it is a small city, the benefit from that is that you have to travel less to go from your home to campus and back. Even if you go to work somewhere, the travel time will be lesser as well. So you save a lot of effort and time and energy while going to campus or while going to work, so that you have more time, more free time left on your day. The cost of travel is also much lesser in Swansea than compared to any other cities in the UK. So I think I've made a full travel in Swansea video, and that video link will be down in the description box below, that where I've mentioned the ticket prices as well. So the cost of living also includes the travel, which is it will be cheaper than most of the cities in the UK. The next important thing is that the rents are low as well. So I wouldn't say that the rent is significantly low, but it is definitely lower than most of the cities in the UK, especially in England. So I think this is also an important point to consider. So the next point is that as it is a small city, there are less distraction while studying as well. So I feel that when you come here or when you go to a place to study, you should have less distraction while you study in that place. Not that you won't be able to study in London or anywhere else. I feel that Swansea is a pretty calm and peaceful city where you can go to the beach and chill out, as well as you can study and do work and do a lot of fun activities here as well. So Swansea is near the beach, it has low cost of living, it is a smaller city, that means less travel time and effort. The travel here is cheaper compared to other cities, and also the rents are cheaper. Lastly, one thing that I want to add is that the student community in Swansea is growing day by day, year by year. So if you come here as a student, you have a lot of things to do as a student, and the university supports student life as well. I've made a complete video about student life in Swansea, so please do go and check that out for more information about this. So now let's move on to the good things about living in London. So talking about the good things about living in London, so first of all, it is a mega city, so you have tons of opportunities of doing a lot of stuff. For example, there are a lot more part-time jobs in London compared to Swansea. Secondly, you have a lot more college options as well compared to Swansea, as Swansea has 2 to 3 college options only. The next is London is definitely connected to all of the cities across UK, and also has multiple airports where you can fly into US, Europe, India, or wherever you want to go. So that is also a big plus point while you consider living in Swansea or in London. The next thing is that it doesn't have extreme weathers. It definitely has a lot of rain, cloudy, cold weather, but it is not extreme. So in Swansea it is a bit windy and cold sometimes, but the summers here are absolutely the best. So you have to decide between going into a city where it is near the beach and a bit windy, or going into London where there is no extreme weather, but also it is almost the same throughout the year. The next thing is, as London is a big city, you will also have opportunity to do a lot of fun activities and do a lot of touristy stuff as well in London. So yes, that is also one point that a lot of people consider when they choose a city to live in. So the next part about living in London is that it has a very large student community and also a very large Indian community as well. So that is a plus point over Swansea, where Swansea is still a growing market for students and Indian students. A lot of people have come here from India to study in Swansea this year, and it will grow in the coming years as well. But London already has a very huge amount of Indian students studying there. So if that is one of your concern, then here is your answer, where we have lots and lots of students studying in Swansea who are Indian, but London is a very big city with multiple colleges, so it will definitely have more Indian students over there and a larger Indian community. So now that we are talking about London and we have already talked about some of the good things about living in London, let's talk about some of the bad things about living in London. So first of all, for me, safety comes at the top, and I think that some certain areas in London might not be the safest to live in. So you will have to do a lot of research when you book your accommodation in London, and also when you look into where you want to go to the university. So that might be a major concern for a lot of people. But of course, I'm not saying London completely is unsafe. There are a lot of good areas where you can live in London, but some of the areas are still not that great, and I would prefer you to not live in those particular areas. So please do your research before booking your accommodation. So talking about safety in Swansea, Swansea is a very safe city, especially for students. So I think that matters to me and a lot of other people who are looking to live in London or Swansea. So yeah, this is your answer to it. Second is that the rent are very high in a lot of areas in London. Very few areas in London have reasonable rates for rent, and I think those areas might be some of the areas which are not the safest to live in. So if rents are a big problem for you, then you might have to do more research about this and then decide. The third point is that there's a lot of travel. So if you want to live near the university, it will be very expensive, and if you live far away from the university where the rent is a bit cheaper, you will have to travel a lot whenever you go to the university. So that increases your time and effort. And also, talking about travel, the travel cost is also higher. Just doesn't mean that just because Swansea has a lesser travel time, it will have lesser cost. So I'm talking about if you travel 1 hour in Swansea and 1 hour in London, the cost of travel in London will be higher. So that is one thing you should definitely keep in mind, because traveling in the metro, the tubes, or in buses are not that cheap. So the next point that I'm going to talk about is that it is a bit too crowded. So a lot of people who I talk to on a daily basis tell me that they do not like London so much and they love Swansea, or they love living in Swansea. It's because that Swansea is a very peaceful, quiet and a calm city to live in, where you can chill and do your work. London is very hectic, very busy, very loud, too crowded and expensive to live in. So that is a big thing for a lot of people who come here and now they don't want to live in London and they want to live in Swansea. So if you are someone like that, then here is your answer to that question. And lastly, from my personal opinion, the bad thing about living in London is that it's not near the beach. Now that I live in Swansea, I really love having the beach near to me and accessible to me, where I can go anytime from campus as well to go to the beach and just chill. So yeah, these were some of the bad things about living in London. Last but not the least, some of the bad things of living in Swansea. So the first point is that the weather is a bit of a problem sometimes. So because it is near the beach, it is quite windy sometimes, but exceptionally this year that I've noticed, it has been really great. So hopefully in the coming years it won't be too bad, but it is windy and raining most of the times. So I don't think it should be a very big factor before you come here, but it is what it is. And the next is that because there are a lot of students who have come here, especially international students from India, and Swansea is not as big as big cities like London or Birmingham. The part-time jobs are a bit less, so a lot of people are struggling to get part-time jobs here in Swansea. So if you're coming here to live in Swansea as a student, start applying for part-time jobs before you come here. I've made a complete video where I have talked about 20 plus ways where you can get a part-time job. The link will be down in the description box below. I've talked about 20 plus ways, and I think that will definitely help you to get a part-time job. So please go and watch that video, and hopefully you will have a part-time job as soon as you come here, or even before you've come here. The third thing is that you will have to travel to Cardiff or London to go to other big cities. So sometimes there is no direct route from Swansea to, let's say, Manchester or Liverpool or Birmingham. You will have to change buses or trains as well. So connectivity might be a little bit of an issue. Also, it doesn't have an international airport, so you will have to travel to either Cardiff, Bristol or London to go anywhere you want to go. So these were some of the bad things about living in London. So I've made 2 videos on things you should know before you come to Swansea videos, and I've linked them down in the description box below. So please go and check those videos out if you want a detailed video about how it is like to live in Swansea. But this was just a comparison between how different it is to live in Swansea than to live in London. So if you were looking for a video where you had to decide between London and Swansea, I would definitely recommend you to watch this video and also share it with your friends who are thinking of the same kind of thing. This was a video where I did not mention the university, neither Swansea University nor the universities in London. So this was just my experience and some of the feedback that I got from the students living here, that how it is like to live in Swansea and how it is like to live in London. So I hope you like this video, and I hope that you will have an accommodation before you come here. I have been working with Amber for a very long time, and the link will be down in the description box below. Every detail for it will be in that link. So please click that link, register yourself, and get on to all the opportunities that Amber is providing to you for free. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any queries, please comment down your queries, thoughts, suggestions, or you can DM me on Instagram. The link will be in the description and the tag will be over here. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.